What's up, everyone? It's your boy, the Stutter God. I'm back with another video. The race soldiers are at it again, my niggas. Brooklyn man being unconscious after high-speed chase by NYPD cops who wrongly thought he was involved in a shooting suit. Well, yeah, in a shooting. I think like suit stands for like lawsuit. But whatever the case is, I'm gonna read down here so I can get the full story, and afterwards, I'm gonna say what's up. Alright, with that said, let's go. A driver who led police on a white-knuckle high-speed chase through Brooklyn was beaten unconscious by angry cops when he finally pulled over and was dragged out of his car. A lawsuit filed against the city charges. The chilling chase and beatdown unfolded after Naveed Azam, 35, picked up his brother and a friend from a Gravesend restaurant, September 12th, and an unmarked car began following them. Azam told the Daily News cops wrongly suspected that they were involved in a shooting, according to his suit. Azam said he didn't know he was being tailed by cops and sped away from the mystery pursuer. In his Honda, I can't pronounce that. When more vehicles using sirens joined the chase, he realized there was an NYPD after him. He said, but kept driving to look for a public place to park. I kept on driving because I was scared, he told the news. The chase began around Avenue V and W Nymph Street and ended 7 miles later on Hamilton Ave and Red Hook, where Azam finally stopped the car. Alright, this is him. 7 NYPD cops were mentally involved in the pursuit and arrest, according to the suit, which accuses the NYPD of false arrest, excessive force, malice prosecution, and violation of Azam's constitutional right to due process, among other allegations. It was filed last week in Brooklyn Federal Court. Azam told the news he had kept his hands up as soon as he was pulled over on what he said turned out to be a mistaken pursuit. I didn't want to put my hands down to open the door, he said. They had to break down the door handle. That's when police officers Ronald Louie and Stephen Tarter and 5 other unnamed cops grabbed him out of his vehicle and kicked him and punched Azam until he passed out, the suit alleges. They pushed me to the ground face first. A cop kicked me, another cop punched me, telling me where's the guns at, after I fell unconscious, Azam said. I was not being aggressive. I had my hands up the whole way. While he was unconscious, Azam alleges cops told his brother that they believed the trio had been involved in a shooting, and that year lucky we didn't shoot you, according to the suit filed by his lawyer, Ab George Witz. Noted the cops' assessment was wrong. Azam says he regained consciousness at the 60th Police Precinct Station House. I woke up in a holding cell, screaming for help, telling them I was bleeding, Azam told the news. He was taken to the hospital, where he was treated for a cut to the eye, hospital records show. Azam said he was hit with a slew of charges, including speeding and a failure to obey traffic signal, which he admits he did during the fraternized pursuit. A criminal complaint filed by cops alleges Azam clocked more than 100 miles during the chase. The police also allege Azam was exhibiting signs of intoxication, including slurred speech, red eyes, and smelling like booze. Azam denied he was drinking, telling the news his friend in the back seat had a bottle of liquor previously bought at a liquor store. All charges against Azam were ultimately dismissed, records show. It was all dismissed. They talked all that shit and it was dismissed. Remember that. I still having black backflashes of these cops, as Em said. I still can't go. I still can't go to sleep. I still have ringing in my ear, and I'm afraid of these cops. I haven't been normal since. Then why PD did not respond before he questioned for a comment? Alright. So the link will be down below. And with that said, let me say how it is. So, once again, the race soldiers targeted another black man. Right? And this is what they did. This is what they did. Right? And notice how the charges the cops tried to press on him were dropped. None of them stuck. None of them. Right? Imagine that. Imagine that. These motherfuckers felt bold as hell. They felt bold. And they did this just because they thought that my brother was involved in another shooting incident, I believe. And because of that, they decided to beat him until he was unconscious. And the crazy thing is, you'll have people in the comment section defending this, saying that the cops thought he was a criminal, and as such, he was dealt with accordingly. You always have those stupid motherfuckers who have no morals, who have no compassion. None of that shit. All they have is a blue dick right up their asses. That's all they have. That's all they have. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. And you can't even say he was in the wrong because they found him in an unmarked car. So my brother didn't even know it was the cops. He did not know. He thought he was in danger. Which is something very logical to assume because you have another person telling you. My homie thought he was in danger, and as such, he tried to get away from the situation. And when he realized it was the police, he began to park. He didn't park immediately because by this time he was fucking terrified, which I would be too. I would be too. And even after he was pulled over and had hands up, they began beating on him. Over and over again, screaming, "Where the guns at?" Nigga, there was no guns. There was no guns. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad that his brother and his friend were there, because if they weren't, I guarantee you the cops would probably planted a gun in the car. I guarantee you that. I promise you that they would have done so. I promise you that. Once again, this is another case of the police telling us how they feel about us. Once again. And it's fucking mind-boggling how people are saying that, oh yeah, the cops are putting mass in droves because of protests, because they're not getting respect. But when shit like this happens, you wonder why they're not getting respect. You wonder why. You wonder why. And then the media likes to portray as the cops being under siege. Nigga, from what? From the people? We've been under siege for decades. Like, you trying to make me feel bad about cops quitting their job because it's too hard? Really? I don't give a fuck. Cops, they only care about each other. They only care about each other. And that's a well-known fact. The blue line is a real fucking thing. And so, when you have them quitting in mass and all that, and you have the media portraying it as portraying the reason for being the protesters' fault, and shit like that. I'm not buying it at all. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not buying it. I don't feel bad for them. I'm glad they are quitting. The fuck? But then we're gonna have all these racist assholes in our fucking pharmacies and shit like that. So that's something to look out for, man. See, at least you don't have a gun. Well, they probably are gonna still have guns, to be honest with you, but either way, nah 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 nah. Hey hey hey, goodbye. And then you have media also saying that as soon as they started quitting, the crime rate immediately increased. Man, I'm not buying that shit. That's like that's like the war on drugs all over again, bro. It really is. When that shit happened, who was enemy number one? Black people. We were enemy number one. And it's crazy too because, first of all, it's not like every other police officer. It's not like every single police officer quit, right? Only mass, not all of them, right? But as soon as that happens, crimes is suddenly increased, just like that, just boom. Really? Just like that. Just like that. Don't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any fucking sense. And so, my point is, don't feel bad for these motherfuckers. Don't feel bad for these racials because at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. These fucking white beaters and shit. Fuck the police. This is exactly the type of shit I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And then people are gonna say, no, we should have respect for our law enforcement. I have no respect. Over the years, police officers began to get more ammo, they began to slowly become more and more militant over the years. They didn't look like what they look like now back in the day. Nah, they look totally different. But after a few incidences, all of a sudden they're now rolling with fucking AK, fucking SWAT suits and all that shit. That's how they are nowadays. That's how they are. And so, I'm glad that some of them are being taken off. I'm glad. Because at the end of the day, the only reason they're quitting is because we're stopping them from doing their real job. And that's bringing down the black man. That's terrorizing black communities. That's killing unarmed black men and women and children. That's your job, and we're stopping them from doing so. And because we're doing that, they started quitting. Why? Because they can't do their actual job. And then you'll have them claim that they're being called for personal mental health even though they're not trained in that area. Like, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? If I have a mental breakdown, I wouldn't want to call the police. But we don't have a choice. So whose fault is that? Whose fault? Whose fault? Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, guys, this has been your boy, the Stutter God. The link for this will be below, and also there will also be another link to my second channel below, where I basically do what if videos. And as always, I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Black first. Peace.